Okay, so we're going to be loading up the pit. Now, I was told to use this brand. I used these in the last video for New Year's. It's the Pro Smoke Premium Lump Charcoal. So it's pretty much just like bits of, like say, like lump wood. It burns pretty good, burns pretty clean. So we're going to load up the pit with this. And then, Barbecues Galore recommended for me to get these. They're Firehawk. They're called wood wool fire lighters. These are like the best thing you could ever fire up a pit with. So anyone who's new to using pits, I would highly recommend to use these. So what you'll see is the pit with the lump coal. I'm gonna put a couple of these in there, and I'll show you what it looks like when she's going. Alright, so I'm just starting off with two little stacks here. Now most people will probably just fire these up with one of those bits of wool. I'm putting two in here. So, stack one. See how quick they actually ignite, and they stay ignited for a while. Stack two. And they're coated in some kind of wax, so they burn for quite a while. Now, being a hot Melbourne day, it's actually it's a good day to do this because there is no fire bans on at the moment, so we are on the moderate level, so we are safe to cook today. I've actually got this on the cover a little bit. This should go pretty well. Now I've got the vents just opened a little bit. There will be a little bit of smoke at the start of this, but once they start to fire up, the smoke should die down a lot. I'm not putting too much charcoal in there for now. I just want to get these white. Once they get white, I'll spread them out a little bit, and then I'll add a little bit more coal. And the next scene, you'll see these white, and then after that, you'll see the chicken on. You actually see the chicken going on the rod and cooking like snap. Okay, so we're gonna do another roast chicken video. So got two of the chickens there, spraying it with olive oil, and we are going to be using the same one as what we used at New Year's, which is the Meat Church Holy Voodoo. So I'll let these rest for a bit, and I'll show you what they look like on the rotisserie rods in. Yeah, so the chickens have been resting in the fridge for a little bit. So nice and marinated. And we've got the rod ready. So what we're doing this one, we're going double prong, if I didn't mention in the prep part. So in the next scene, you'll see the two chickens on the rod, and then we're going to be putting them on the heat, but I will show you what they look like on the rods just before they go onto the heat, just like. Okay, got the chickens on the rod, and in the next scene you'll see it on the heater. Yum yum. Okay, so we've got the chickens on the cook. So mainly the gold that you see is actually from that Meat Church voodoo rub. So these are cooking at a pretty nice temp here. I'm saying roughly it's been about 2.5 hours. We've dropped it from level 4 all the way down to level 2, and as the cook progresses, then I'll slowly lower it down. But I will be applying oil throughout the cook, and we'll show you how she looks as she goes. Yum yum. So we are about halfway through the cook now. So all the juices start to come out. I have done a lot of oil sprays, and I've added a lot of extra rub to it, so I might just add a little bit more rub before I take it off. So you'll see this when it comes off, and then I'll let it settle for about 20 minutes, and then we'll cut into the meat and show you how it looks, just like. Alright, so after about 4 hours or 4.5 hours, low and slow, the chicken looks like it's cooked. A little bit of juice coming out still, a few pauses in the cooking, but it's done. So I'll let that rest for 20 minutes, and next scene I'll show you when we carve it up, just like. Okay, so that's the carving of the chicken. Let's see how we went. Yep, we've got the grinder out. nice and juicy chicken. Yep. As I always say, it all turns to shit in the end. But what we're looking for is nice, white, juicy. Now this is the first card. And you can see all the juice sitting there that's coming out. There's a lot of flavour. You want to check right down the center. That's what you're looking for. Beautiful whiteness. Just hear that grinder cutting away. Yum, yum. Alright, I'm going to cut through this one, and I'll start back up and go for the second one. Now we're going to put the second chook in the fridge. I'm going to keep it for tomorrow because tomorrow's a very hot day. So now, that meat is pretty much exactly where you want chicken, bar that little bit of red near the bone. But the meat itself has actually come up really nice and tender. And you get somewhere like Coles or Woolies, that is crap. And that sweetness from the spice. And a massive shout out to Meat Church, Holy Voodoo. This is the bee's knees. Anyway, I'm going to cut up a little bit more meat. And let it cool down a little bit more and enjoy it. And see you all in the next video. Peace!